Good evening. Appreciate everybody making the effort to be back out at the Lord's house. And thank God, like Nellie said, for the want to be here tonight. So a lot of other places it could have probably been easier to be, but it's good to be in the house of the Lord tonight. We just had a simple thought, and probably can't get it out the way we'd like to. We just want to be a help. Don't want to never be a hindrance in any way. And you just pray for us tonight, and just had a simple thought. Won't keep you too long. But if you will, if you don't care, turn over in the book of Matthew, chapter 22. This is a very, I guess, familiar scripture to a lot of us. And we was reading it the other day, and it just kind of stuck out to us, a little part of it. And just kind of had some different thoughts on it. Matthew chapter 22, starting verse 1. And Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen, my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready, come unto the marriage. And this is what stuck out to us here in verse 5. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. In verse 6 here, And the remnant took his servants and treated them spitefully and slew them. In verse 7 here, But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed the murderers and burned their city. Like I said there in verse 5, what stuck out to us was they made light of it. And mine just kind of went to different things. No doubt your mind is going to different things that different people can make light of. Just like being at church here tonight. A lot of people think it's a joke, but it's a very serious thing. They've made light of it. Some people didn't want to come because it was an inconvenience. It's okay. They made light of it. They're not here. Some can't be here. I'm not saying that. But there is a difference. And it's very scary, very dangerous territory to make light of something that God's tied to. Mm-hmm. In verse 2 here, it's talking about the Lord's making a marriage supper for his son. That's just a parable. This is all red here. You've got a black and red Bible here. It's Jesus is talking. He's talking to the religious crowd here, and he's trying to help them see some things, but they don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. And that refers to God. He is the king there, and the son, that's Jesus. And he's telling them, kind of giving them a foreshadowing of what's getting ready to happen to him, and his disciples. I'm glad that the Lord has prepared us a place that we can get to go to one of these days, heaven. I don't want to take that light. That's real, and I don't want to take light of that. I don't want to take light. There's a hell too. That's a real place. I don't want to take light of that. When we talk with people about heaven, it's people make it a joke, and they do the same thing about hell. But Christians are to be not taking that lightly. That's not a lightful thing. It's serious. It's like we talked about Sunday, and Bill says it a lot, and different want to testify. The Lord is coming back. We know that. The Lord is coming back. Sure as I'm standing here, breathing this air, the Lord is coming back. And we don't need to take that lightly. And I'm so glad that he's come back to get us. I'm so glad he's not forgot us down here. I'm so thankful that he didn't take the love that he gave us light. He gave all he had to us. And he said, whosoever wants it, you can come get it. I'm thankful for that. Verse 3 here, talked about He sent forth servants to call them that are bidden to the wedding. Everybody's invited. Everybody that wants to. Whosoever wills. He didn't close the door in nobody's face. He said, come on. Come on. You're welcome. But the people's taking it lightly. The devil's twisting this and that, and he's making stuff, taking it lightly. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make here all through. I'm saying here tonight, and just bear with me. I get tongue-tied and nervous, but don't want to take none of this stuff lightly. There could be somebody sitting here tonight that's lost and on their way to hell. I don't want to take that lightly. This could be the last service that they're in before they check out of here. That's serious. What we say in this service, what we do in this service is serious. We shouldn't take it lightly. You know, I'm glad that the Lord took time out for me. I'm glad He had people in my life that took this church seriously. They took prayer seriously. They prayed for me. They prayed for my family. They didn't take it lightly. They prayed. That's why I'm right here. People prayed for me. They didn't take it lightly. That's why you're here. People pray for you, and they didn't take it lightly. Just like our pastor keeps preaching to us, keep holding each other up in prayer. We need each other. We need each other. We don't need to take that lightly. We need each other's prayers. And I thank God that He's given us the power of prayer to pray for each other, to love each other. Don't take that lightly. It seems like that's one of the things the devil wants us to squash is first right off the bat is, don't worry about that. You can do that tomorrow. He's taking it lightly. Lightly. Verse 4 here, I'm going to hurry along here. And again he sent forth other servants, telling them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed. You know, he was trying to tell them, hey, I got all this stuff prepared. I got all this stuff, and you can come and enjoy it. You can enjoy all this stuff I got. That's the same message, you know, Jesus is telling the world today. I got all the stuff for you. This life right now for you to enjoy and the one to come. I got all this stuff, and you're so welcome to come. But people take it lightly. They just disregard it. And one thought come to our mind there. We'll talk about the invitation and being... I always want to be hospitable to the Spirit of the Lord, especially when the invitation is going out here by our preacher, by our church as our testimony out in the community. We want to be a loving people. We want to be kind people. We don't want to take that lightly. That's an honorable duty the Lord has placed on our lives. Don't take that lightly. And I thought, even this is a silly example, I guess, for a lot of people, but it just come out to me like this. I'm going to try to get it across without my tongue swelling up too bad like I do before to spit it out. But I always thought, my mama, she would always greet me at the door if she knew I was coming. And that's the same way as Jesus right back here, over here. Especially she knows you're coming tonight. I can just see him, Bill's had a rough week. I can't wait for him to hear what Adam's got for him. I can just see Jesus back there. Mama, she'll prepare something, she knows that you like, and that'll be just right for you. And I know the Lord does that through His messages for us. But we got to come here, and we got to sit down, and we got to listen to that. You can't eat when you're talking, and you can't eat hardly when you're standing. You got to sit down and listen to God. I'm so thankful. That it's a funny example, but I can just see the Lord standing back there like I can see my mama standing, at the door. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. He's got so much in this book, and He's given us a great man of God to give it to us. And He's given us 11 people here at this church to pray for each other. Don't take that lightly. Don't take Him lightly. Don't take the one sitting beside of you lightly. Don't do that. I'm begging you, don't do that. Don't take it lightly. It could be gone before you know it. We can count spots down through here in these pews. There's people gone. This one will be here. This one will sit there. He ain't always going to sit there. be so thankful we have this time right now. Don't take it lightly. So thankful to be here tonight. You know, and I appreciate you praying. You know, Mom's over in the hospital. You know, I know some may say, don't bring that up again. I can't help it. You know, stuff I'm dealing with. But I heard the churches are praying. I appreciate that. You didn't take it lightly. You know, we've met over here and prayed for different families over here. We've prayed for different people in their homes, different ones that have been sick and had cancer and had this and that. Don't take it lightly. I appreciate this church not taking things lightly. I'm not saying anybody is, but please, let's not start. Don't take nothing lightly. And we'll hurry along here. And like I said, we just had a couple of thoughts, and we'll hurry along verse 5 here. And kind of the point of driving home. I keep repeating myself, and I'm sorry, but that's the point of it. I'm trying to get this across to me, to Isaac here. Not just everybody else. Isaac here needs to hear this. Isaac right here. They made light of it. As the verse speaks of the world that we're living in today, the White House we have up in Washington, you know, the people we stand in line at Walmart, it's a joke. It is a joke. And they've just discarded God, discarded God's people, seemingly, until something goes wrong. And it gets serious. And then we try to pray. We try to do this and that. But let's be the people that when they do need something, they know where to go to. Well, I remember when Danny, he said he'd pray for me that one time. Or I remember Marsh said that he'd take our name to the church and pray. Let's be that people that don't take it lightly when they come back to us. And I keep mentioning a couple of Sundays ago, let's be that home for them to come back to. Be back there like the Lord is, waiting for us to come in the door to give us what we stand in need of. Let's be with open arms and loving and as much as we can be. Because we have no grounds to give anybody grief whatsoever. God has given us grace upon grace, and that is the least we can do is be merciful to one another. Nobody's perfect because we all got this on right here. We all got this. Everybody sitting in here does. There ain't nobody arrived. He ain't nobody perfect. But I thank God that He is, and we got Him. If you got Him, you got everything. If you don't have Him, you got nothing. It's like He preached on Sunday. You're going to hell. You are a loser. But there is a way to escape, and I'm glad that Jesus is that way, and it's so easy just to turn to Him. Don't take that lightly. But we'll hurry along here. I guess the other thought here, and I'm going to hush, is every time someone does take something that's tied to the house of the Lord or children of God lightly, there's consequences to that. I mean, you can look in the garden, Adam and Eve, the devil, the lie he threw out to them, they bit it hook, line, and sinker. You won't surely die. It made them take light of it, you see. You know, and I can see old Noah out there and the people around the ark, you know. He's just goofy, ain't no rain. I bet you if you could find wood right now that's tied to that ark, it'd be nail marks on it, people trying to get in, scratching. I believe that. But they made light of it, and they made light of the man of God. Don't you do that. Isaac don't need to do that. You know, I thought of Judas. He kissed the very door of heaven. How much he's seen. How much was he around. But he made light of it. He turned to that silver more than he turned to God. He thought more of that silver than thought light of Jesus Christ. And that's so dangerous and so easy because there's so many distractions. But the main point, just want to get across, is we just love everybody here and appreciate everybody. I appreciate this, everybody takes care of the churchyard. It looks so good. You pick up a piece of trash out of the floor here, straighten up a songbook. I appreciate that. God does too. He sees that. You know, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you praying for each other. Appreciate you praying for me. Appreciate you praying for our pastor. You know, we don't need to stop that. Don't take that lightly. We have an obligation. If we want the church to grow, if we want the Spirit to drop in this place like a thick fog, we got to pray. We have to pray. Don't take that lightly. And I'm glad we can have that hope in that. And just don't take it lightly. I appreciate your attention tonight, and I thank God for saving me and touching me. And I'm thankful that he took time out for me. You know, I was nothing. He didn't need me. He didn't gain nothing by coming by my way. Yeah, he could have made light of me. I don't really need Isaac. You know, he just backwards and goofy. He don't understand a lot of. I don't need Isaac. He could have made light of us. He could have made light of us, but he didn't. And I'm thankful for that tonight. I appreciate your attention.